People, people, Menschen. That's German for people. I've been learning German recently. I have got to talk about this film. I have literally just come back from the cinema from watching this, and I've just had the urge to sit in this chair, switch on OBS, press record, and talk to you about this movie. I'm going to be talking about a movie called Kill. It's directed by a person called Nikhil Nagesh Bhat. I think that's how you pronounce it. I apologise if I said that wrong. And it's got the very simple action movie premise of two soldiers are on a train, some bandits infiltrate it, try to steal money from everyone, and of course they have to beat these people up and save everyone on the train. Now this is an Indian movie, or Pakistani, I don't really know. It's somewhere around that area. And you may be thinking, Gibson, it sounds like a very basic, straight-to-DVD action movie plot. And it does. It does sound like that. But let me tell you, this movie does not deserve to be a straight-to-DVD action movie. This movie was marketed as the most violent Indian movie ever, or something like that. And of course, when I hear that, I'm like, okay, I want to see necks breaking, heads being squished, stabs, guns, everything. That's what I expect to see if you come up with that tagline. And for the first 45 minutes of this movie, I was like, okay, it's violent, but it's not that bad. You know, there's blood, there's gore, there's people getting stabbed, but it's nothing too mad. But then, this movie did something that I've never seen before. A mid-movie title drop. The title Kill pops up on the screen as soon as something happens to our main character. And you know things are gonna go down. And after that title dropped, the rest of this movie was just wow. The tagline, the marketing line, the most violent Indian movie ever. The second half of this movie lives up to that. Everyone, and I mean everyone, even people who are not on screen much, who have no lines, who aren't even characters, they are not safe. Near enough everyone on this train has blood on them, they get injured, they get hit, they get stabbed, whatever. No one is safe. Like, even like a teenager or close to a child dies in this. Like, as soon as that happened, I was like, oh, so no one's safe here then. The violence here was shocking. Like, necks are getting broken, people are getting their guts sawed out by knives, stabbed in the head, smashed against walls. One even gets his head, like, smashed into a toilet at one time. I was just like, what on earth is happening? But what I really liked about this film is that our protagonist basically beats up this entire gang on this train by himself near enough. And you may think, oh, where's the tension then? He's just killing them off quite easily. Well, as I said, no one's safe. This guy gets punched in the face, his head smashed against walls, he gets stabbed so many times, he gets punished emotionally, which is the driving force for why he wants to kill these people. Like, this guy gets beaten to a pulp, and it just makes the tension just flow throughout this movie. And another thing that I really liked was that this movie wiped its arse with action movie tropes, in a sense. They do use tropes, but they use them in a way which you don't expect. Especially the halfway point. Don't worry, I'm not going to spoil it, but something happens and it kicks the plot really into motion. And it was just so shocking that they decided to do this halfway through the movie. And I just really appreciated that this isn't your typical action movie, no matter how simple the plot is. It mixes it up so well. But of course, seeing as this movie is pretty much just all action, the action just needs to be great. And somehow, every action scene got better and better and better and better. Like, for the first 45 minutes, the action was great. I was like, there's no way they could top this. But my word, they just mix it up so well. They use the train's environment to great use. Every action scene just gets more violent, full of tension, and more creative. And I just like the atmosphere of this movie. it's just depressing for everyone, even our villains. What I really like is that our villains, yeah, you hate them, you want them to die and get defeated, but they also have an emotional side to them. Like, the hero does this to them to break them, and it seems to have worked. Like, I'm not going to spoil anything again, but there's just this bit in a dark, gloomy, haunted house-like carriage where the villains are just getting, like, emotional, crying. They're broken because of what this hero has done. So you see the heartbreak and dark side of both sides here. But one thing that did kind of bug me about this movie was that the emotional moments were kind of tainted a little bit because they were a little bit corny. They use a lot of slow-mo in this for like the emotional moments. And I'm not saying emotional moments cannot work with slow-mo, but it was just the way that it was done. It was just a little bit corny to me, and I get it. I guess it works for people over there, and that's fine. I'm not saying it's a really bad thing. It was just the way that it was done. It just didn't really sit right with me. It was just a little bit over the top. But apart from that, everything else about this movie is just brilliant. Even technical wise, this movie's not like John Wick where it uses a lot of long takes. I feel many filmmakers are scared to do that. Like, oh, we don't want to use like quick cuts and make your eyes blow up. Like, yeah, I get the fear of that. But I don't mind a load of cuts in an action scene. You just got to do it right. And they do it so well here. Everything is cut at the right moment. You can see exactly what's going on. It's just masterfully edited. And some of the shots here, oof, chef's kiss. Oh. They use these long, wide shots of the carriages of the train. Especially in that dark, gloomy, haunted house-like carriage scene that I mentioned. Wow, what a shot. This movie is just wonderfully directed. And the music. Oh. I love the music from John Wick. How it's very bassy, upbeat. And this movie kind of does that as well. It's very bassy, but in the most badass of badass ways ever. Everything about this movie is badass. Our characters, our villains, the music, the action, the violence, the way this movie is edited, shot, everything about this movie just worked for me. And I'm begging you all, I'm begging you, please go and see this in the cinema. Please go and support it, because I want more action movies like this. This is what I want. Give me more, please. So for me, Kill is one of the best action movies I've ever seen. Everything about this movie worked for me, apart from that little small complaint I had with some emotional moments being ruined for being a bit too corny. Apart from that, this movie's perfect. This is an action movie I think any action fan will love and adore. So Kill, please go and see this. It's going to get a 9.5 out of 10 from me. What a wonderful film. I'm so glad I went to see this last minute. And guys, that's it for the end of this review. If you have seen Kill, please tell me what you thought of it. Did you like it? Did you not? Let me know. Wow, I can't believe this film. But yeah, guys, I hope you all enjoyed this video. Have a good day, and see you later.